2019 at the NEC in Birmingham, and we are joined, we're very lucky guys, because we're joined by Bobby Duke.
Yes, we are joined by Bobby Duke.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been amazing.
Yeah?
I love it here.
Have you had a really good day so far?
Oh yeah, it's been basically just getting to meet all of the people that have come.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to look around, but everything that I've seen has been pretty. I mean, there's so much, like there's a freaking dinosaur
I know, right?
cut out over there.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing, all the
There's
stuff.
a spider at the front, there's a dinosaur, there's loads of stalls.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
It's amazing.
Are you here tomorrow as well?
I am.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So we get to see you again as well, which
Yes.
is epic.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be on stage at some point with
Okay.
Barnaby Dixon. Do you know who he is?
Yes, the
Yeah, puppets.
puppets.
Yeah.
Exciting times. Now, Bobby, tell us, where did it all begin for you? When did you start getting creative?
Oh, when I started getting creative?
Yeah, like when you started making things and stuff like that.
Since I was a kid, I've always been interested in art and making things, and I mean, it started as a child.
Yep.
I think most people would say that. You know, it all started as a child. But it did. I started by whittling sticks, and I took some art lessons when I was a kid and started drawing and sculpting. And then, you know, life got in the way, and I kind of put it on the back burner and just did it as a hobby. And then was a truck driver. And you know what? I'll let you. Did you want to keep going, like, into my life story?
You know what? I'm easy. I'm fascinated. I'm listening
Okay.
away. Tell us everything. Tell us everything.
I was a truck driver, and
Right.
I really got, or what do they call it? A lorry driver.
A lorry driver, yeah.
Lorry driver. And it's a great job, but it was not at all fulfilling creatively for me.
Okay.
Just endless hours of driving. But it gave me a lot of time to think. And YouTube was totally a hobby. No intention of it becoming my job. Until I just decided, okay, I want to be a professional artist. How do I make that happen? And I know that the industry is very hard to break into. It's kind of a close-knit, sort of closed society. So I knew I had to do it at different means, different ways of breaking in. And I knew YouTube was a thing. And so I just started posting videos as a hobby.
Yep.
But eventually I was like, you know what? I want to try to make this work, because this is a way for me to be an artist
Absolutely, yeah.
as my job, but in an untraditional way.
Yeah.
And my wife, Nicole, who's
Hi, Nicole.
standing over there,
There's you.
was totally supportive, even though the odds of it working out were like almost zero. I just started really dedicating a lot of time, and I did gain, you know, wait until I had a decent subscriber count before I made it my full-time job.
Okay.
But even then, we weren't making a lot of money from YouTube, so
Right.
it was a big risk.
Okay.
But she was totally supportive and was like, you know what? She became a nurse, which helped free us up financially to where I could then make YouTube full-time. And then it just took off from there, because once I, you know, really wanted it to work out, it just did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So inspiring. So tell us more about your YouTube channel, what it's called, what kind of things can we find on there, what kind of things do you make specifically?
Well, it's called Bobby Duke Arts, and I make art. And I'm a big goofball and dork. Basically, it's art and comedy.
Love it.
I try to break the stereotype of the, you know, I'm an artist, you know, and make it a little more accessible and fun for people to not only, if they are already artists, to continue in it and to explore and push themselves creatively, but also other people who don't have any interest to either gain an interest or just have fun watching me be a big goofball.
Yeah.
So I make all different kinds of art. I use all different mediums, and most of the time when I make something, it's the first time I've ever done it. So it's like I'm going through the learning process with my audience and just having fun and being silly and goofy. I put a lot of dad jokes in there and really, really silly humor.
Can you tell us a dad joke? Do you have a dad joke right now off the top of your head?
Oh crap. I don't know if I can say crap.
That's all right. It'll be grand. It'll get edited if we
No,
can.
I actually did just have one earlier.
I love a dad joke. They are kind of my favourite,
Dang
right?
it, you put me on the spot.
That's all right. Don't worry. Should we move on? Come on, Bobby. You can do it. Anything.
I don't know if I can think of one. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Dadgummit, when you put me on the spot, if you told me ahead of time.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's
like,
okay.
It might come to you. It's all good. It might come to you. So tell me, Bobby, have you got a favourite piece of artwork that you've done in your career so far? Is there something that you've done and you're like, I'm so proud of this work?
Okay. Yes. I mean, I like all the pieces. But it's hard for me to distinguish. Are you talking about just the piece or the video?
You know what? Both.
Okay.
Well, tell me everything.
Because as far as a piece goes, because that's different from the video, because the video in itself is a totally separate thing, the way I see it. I don't know. It's really hard. I really like. I made a what I call a fairy house.
Okay.
So it's like a tiny miniature house with stairways and little plants and little windows that light up, and it looks like a tiny miniature fairies would live in it. It's really detailed. I really like that piece just because it was just so much fun to make, and I kind of envisioned myself as a tiny, not a fairy, but like just a tiny little person that could live in there, and how would I want it to look on the inside and all that stuff. That one was really fun to make, and I really just like how it turned out. But as far as the videos go, I have this one where I carve wings out of 2x4s or just pine boards that I glued together, and that one I really like that video, mainly just because I went a little different in a weird direction. It kind of got steampunk at certain, like in the end I have these like crazy goggles and a top hat and bow tie and do this like whole photo shoot thing at the end, and sort of high production value. I really like that video, but the thing is there's special parts of all the videos, and each piece has a special kind of place in my heart. So
difficult to answer.
Yeah, it's like, which is your favorite child?
Yeah.
They're all different and you love them in different ways, but all the same.
Of course.
But some stand out. I'd say those two stand out for me.
Awesome. So who inspires you, Bobby? Is there anyone in particular that inspires you? I'm sure a lot of things will inspire you. Or is there anyone here today at Maker Central that you think, yes, love your work?
Oh yeah, all the people that are basically here, you know, Nick Zametti, Colin Furs, who else is here? Jimmy DiResta.
Yep.
Paul Jackman, you know, they're all those guys that are here. They're all inspiration, and they're all fun, and they're also my friends. But outside of that, a lot of traditional artists.
Yeah.
You know, Van Gogh.
Beautiful.
He has. I've dealt with some, and not to get dark here, but I've dealt with some like anxiety and issues, mental issues, and things like that. That he kind of, in a way, speaks to me because he's dealt with it as well. You know, the whole cutting off his ear and mailing it to his lady friend or whatever. I don't mean to get dark, but
listen,
there's a lot of inspiration I draw from traditional artists, but also ones today like dadgummit, I'm drawing a blank on his name. There's some tattoo artists. I love their work.
Right.
Guy Aitchison is one. Aaron Kane, those are two tattoo artists.
Wow.
I'd have to look it up on Instagram, some of the other people that I follow.
Okay.
But there are some sculptors that are just doing mind-blowing things. I love three-dimensional art. That's primarily what I do.
Okay.
So I tend to gravitate towards three-dimensional artwork, even though Guy Aitchison's a tattoo artist. He's drawing on something three-dimensional, but his pieces are, you know, skin portraits, whatever.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's a lot of.
Speaking of tattoos, do you have any tattoos?
I do. Well,
do you?
Well, is it this side?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, one that says love.
Okay, awesome.
And then I've got.
You've got loads.
Well, half sleeve, and I got one. No one ever sees this one.
No one ever sees this one.
But I don't
okay.
think you can.
Can you see it, camera? Look at that. Check that out. Yeah.
There's another one.
Okay. So with the tattoos, you design your own, obviously, because you're so creative yourself.
Actually,
do you kind of design your own? Do you let someone else do it?
This one was designed by someone else. This one is just a Chinese kanji, so their culture designed it.
Yeah.
This one I did actually design.
Wow.
It was a long time ago. I used to be a tattoo artist.
Oh, did you?
Long time ago.
Oh, awesome.
I don't do it anymore.
Check you out.
Yeah.
Man of many talents.
But I've done a lot of random stuff. I've done tree trimming.
Yeah.
Tattoo artist, remodeler, painter, cabinet maker. No, I was like a baker, a candlestick maker. No.
Reading it all off.
And a truck driver or lorry driver.
I love that. Truck driver's fine, by the way. We totally know what you mean when you say
truck driver. Okay.
Yeah.
And now a YouTuber.
Yeah. Check you out. This is awesome. Okay, so where do you get your ideas from? Okay, you're gonna draw some. Where the heck do you get your ideas from?
A lot of times it's just either scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or YouTube,
Yeah.
and I'll see something like, ooh, that's really interesting. Now, how can I not rip it off, but how can I turn it into my own thing? You know, just take a seed and then build on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just out of the blue, an idea will pop into my head fully formed, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I would make sure to write it down on my phone. And then other things are like the seed of an idea will start, and then over time, I'll just kind of let it evolve
Yeah.
into the fully formed idea. Sometimes it's just I start a piece, and it turns into whatever it's going to be in the end.
Awesome.
But yeah, as far as ideas go, that's sometimes it totally depends on the type of idea.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
sure.
yeah, all
So,
that.
how important do you think it is, okay, for like the younger generation, children, or anyone in general who want to get into making? Like, do you think it's important to kind of get creative younger? What do you think? What's your
Absolutely.
take on it?
Yeah, there's all different forms of making. There's not only three-dimensional and, but then there's virtual making. And it all comes down to imagination and keeping that alive in people and kids, because without imagination, then you can't have progress, because everything that we've made, period, all started with an idea, and that's all from imagination. And if you don't keep that developed and that interest, like making stuff, you have to have an imagination, and using your hands and not letting that go away is super important, because I don't know, it all began there too, and everything is so now automated and machine made, and everything, having handmade things still have an importance, because I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, I think
It means more.
the most beautiful things, I think, come from human hands.
Yeah, totally.
Are made,
So, Bobby, where are you from? Because let's be honest, the accent. Where are you
I'm from Texas.
Are you? Are you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So you came from Texas for this event this weekend?
I did.
How long did it take you? Was it a while? What was the flight like?
The flight, well, okay, we were having pretty bad storms.
Oh, no.
Do you guys have tornadoes here?
Do we heck? We don't.
Don't?
No.
Okay, well, I live in-
maybe in the past, but like the worst we're gonna get is like quite bad, like lightning and rain,
Oh,
or
no.
hailstone and snow. Snow we get.
Oh yeah, I live in, it's called Tornado Alley. So it's like,
Sounds dangerous.
it has more tornadoes than any place in the world, like the entire world. And so tornadoes are a thing, and there were some big storms coming up. They call it a squall line that like blows through. It's a big line of storms, and they drop tornadoes. So my flight was postponed twice, and then they had to like reroute sort of around it, and then I ended up in France, and then laid over for 5.5 hours there. Then where did we landed in just north of here. I can't remember the dang town.
Was it what we talking
What's-
airports like London, Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool?
Manchester.
Right.
Yes. And then didn't sleep that night because of jet lag, and my clock was on the wrong hours. And then ended up down here. It was a long time. I think total travel time was like almost 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you awake right now?
I did sleep last night,
Happy days.
and lots of hard drugs. I'm kidding.
Well,
Coffee.
happy days. Coffee,
Edit
coffee,
that
coffee.
No coffee.
So, Bobby, before we go, okay, what's your next project? What have you got lined up? Can you share it with us? Is it a secret? What's happening next with you?
I'm trying to put out part 3 of a series that only has 2 parts.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It started out with,
I love that.
yeah, I love messing with my audience too. So it's actually going to be called part 3.
Okay.
I'm skipping part 2.
Right.
Yeah, going right to the end. So it started out with a bucket and hands in this motion, like holding a giant wooden bucket. The bucket and hands are one giant block of wood that were carved.
Right.
And then something's going to be coming out of like frozen, coming out of the bucket, like it's in mid
Yeah, like action.
toss. Yes.
Wow.
So that video, part 2, is going to be coming out hopefully next.
Wow.
And that is kind of a secret, what it is going to be. But I can tell you, like, a future project is I'm going to be carving cue balls, like for, poker or snooker.
Snooker.
Snooker. Yeah, pool. Okay.
my accent.
You guys say pool? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing some experimenting there.
Wow.
I want to do more resin. Eventually, I'd like to start like welding and sculptures with metal and things like that. I want to do everything. Glass blowing,
You want to do it all.
papier mâché,
What? Paper mache, we say.
paper mâché.
Paper mache, yeah, there you
Mache.
go. Bobby, you've
Yes.
been awesome. Thanks for letting us have a little chat with
Oh,
you.
no problem. Thank you
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
I will.
Can't
Thank you.
wait to see your next project.
Thank you.
Exciting times. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll see you soon.